Then as the city roars, tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal, feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal, feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman, Jeff Trunipole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, live from the Ice Cave because it's snowing. Next Tuesday, I think we're going to be back at Memorial Log House, but I'll keep you up to date on that. But the Bengals have brought in some defense coordinator interviews. We got Patrick Graham for the Patriots. We got Patrick Graham for the Raiders. We got Demaryius Cousins from the Patriots. UC Baylor tonight. Reds made a trade. They got a pitcher. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here. Let's get to it. All right, I'm going to do it old school here. I'm going to get them all their own individual intros. Let's start with, Joe Schmo. What is up, Joe?
Hi.
How are you, buddy? Hi.
I haven't left the house since I think probably Friday, since I got back from Millions, and I am going stir crazy and losing my goddamn mind.
Well, let's talk to a guy who's in the car. I know he's left.
Yeah.
Harrison, what is up, brother? You made it back from Pittsburgh. I'm very, very happy to see that.
I'm still alive. I am still alive.
Thank God.
It
All right, let's get to the third member of the boys. He's none other than Neil Meyer. I gotta get a bigger screen here. Hold on. There we go. Hey, Neil, what's up? Hey, you're muted. You gotta unmute yourself. Unmute Neil. Well, he just left. He said, "Screw you guys." He didn't want to talk to you guys anyway. All right, let's get into this. Defense coordinators. First of all, I haven't got to talk to you guys yet. Were you surprised that Lou's gone and basically almost everybody on the defensive side of the ball was gone?
Not at all.
Yeah, I saw it coming. I thought everybody was getting the boot.
What's going on? Sorry about that, guys. I somehow ended up on airplane mode. If that describes anything going on in Cincinnati right now.
What'd you do that for?
I don't know. It's the snow driving everybody crazy.
Exactly.
That's all right. Jeff can't mute his phone either, so it's all right.
Well, I muted it, but my son calls me at 5:30 when he knows I'm on the show. Don't get it. Anyway. Normally the show's past couple months has been at 6, so I guess I'll give him a pass. But anyway, I'll have to call him back later. All right, Harrison wasn't surprised at all. Joe, you weren't surprised?
Yeah, no, not at all. The writing was on the wall. You can say what you want about them losing Jesse Bates, losing DJ Reader. Lou's been given 9 top 100 draft picks in the past 3 years and has done absolutely nothing. They've been buried on the depth chart. And so, amazingly, after the bye this year, when partially because of Sam Hubbard getting injured, he played the kids and simplified the scheme. amazingly they resembled, like, they weren't great, but I mean,
No.
they played like around
They
what,
didn't have
somewhere
to
like
be
a
great.
20, 15 to 20 ranked defense, and that's fine. Like,
That's what we
that's
need.
how you go on a run.
That's that's what I've been saying. He hasn't developed the young guys. Go ahead, Neil. We'll get into that later. Go ahead, Neil. What's your thoughts on? Yeah, I don't know what Harrison's doing. I'm not really sure.
On Lou getting fired, I mean, the writing was on the wall. I think everybody kind of saw that coming. But on top of it, you saw what happened after the young guys played, right? After Sam Hubbard goes down, like you guys mentioned, this was a completely different defense. But I mean, the writing was on the wall. Despite starting 4-8, everybody knew what was going to happen once the season came to a conclusion. But I was just surprised by how quick it was. Usually for Cincinnati, they were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
let's take our sweet time with it." But the thing that really caught me off guard by it was not even 12 hours later, Zach Taylor basically fired not only Lou, but the whole defensive staff. Essentially.
pretty much. Yeah, there's two of them that are left, and they may or may not stay. And to me, that was the more surprising thing of because in the past, Bengals teams when they've went on runs like this and you know, like, oh my goodness, the defense is fixed. Mike Brown like, oh, it's fine, we'll just keep running it back. But Zach, I think to his credit, now Zach said it was his decision. You can believe that, whatever if you want to or not. I believe it. I don't see the reason why Zach would be lying. But Zach said it's his decision, and to me that means that the standard is the Super Bowl. This was not the standard, but it also puts a bullseye on Zach because whoever he hires, if it doesn't work next year,
That seat will be cooking.
yeah. So that's the thing. I like it because it had to be done. There had to be something changed in it. Now, Harrison, what do you think on the guys that they possibly could get in here? They got the DC from the Raiders and the DC for the Patriots. Is there anybody? I know everybody wants Saleh and all this stuff, but I think Saleh wants to get a head coaching job. What do you think?
I think I'm liking the dude from the Raiders just because I'm on this Max Crosby. If we could somehow steal him,
We're all on that too. We all want that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we're all on that.
I mean, I done cooked up a whole little idea in my head that somehow, some way, we gonna get Max Crosby, and I'm like, they just fired their coach, so hey, bring on the Raiders. Let's get Max Crosby and let's get this thing going.
I'm with you. If Max Crosby is part of the deal, hell yes.
Yeah.
I will take the guy from the Raiders. Now everybody keeps talking about this is the way I look at it, guys. I don't think we necessarily need a big name guy. I kind of want a young up and coming guy, one that's hungry, one that wants to make a name for himself. And he had, like, to Joe's point, he has to have a defense that can develop young guys. Lou has not developed young guys. And that was his downfall. I mean, Dax Hill was the number one pick. He signed off on him being safety. It didn't work. Miles Murphy, he was the number one pick. We're still, I'm not out on Max Murphy yet, but he's not to where he should have been an impact player, being where he's drafted, at least getting to the
Max Murphy doesn't play. Max Murphy comments on a lot of shit on social media.
Miles Murphy. Max Murphy's
Miles is Max's brother who plays defensive end, number 99.
Max Crosby, Max Murphy, it all got me mixed up. You know what I meant. Miles Murphy. I think he needed to be.
Max is a good dude.
I
like that guy. I like Max.
I like Max a lot. But the thing is, that was a downfall, I think. And I was thinking the same thing. With all the injuries, once he had to play the young guys and he had to simplify the defense, they started playing better. But that's the thing, is like Lou wasn't willing to make adjustments quickly enough. And that's where I'm like, we got to have a guy come in here because we're not going to spend a lot of money on defense. If they do sign T,
they have spent the fourth most amount of money in the NFL on defense.
I know they have. Yeah. In the future, they're not going to be able to. If you sign T and you sign Jamar, you're not going to be able to spend as much money on defense. You've got to develop your young guys. You've got to. That's where I'm not, and I think Robert Saleh is trying to get a head coaching job anyway. But that's where I'm like, I don't care what his name is. Just he's got to be able to mess with what Zach's vision is. What's your thoughts, Neil?
Yeah, no, most certainly. I think definitely you would like to see the young and upcoming coach, obviously, for the Bengals. But there's a lot of people to keep a name on. Obviously, you like the guy from the Raiders. You like the guy from the Patriots, especially after that Patriots defense completely stifled Cincinnati in week 1. But on top of it,
it really wasn't that hard because we suck week 1 for some reason all the damn time.
But if it was me, I'm giving a call out to Colorado and seeing what Robert Livingston's doing and say, hey, you want to come back and run this defense? That's where my first call would be going to. The guy very familiar with Cincinnati, familiar with what Zach Taylor's trying to do. Hey, you saw what Colorado was able to do this year in the college football. Hey, maybe translate it back, come home. I mean, he still lives in Cincinnati now, so I mean.
Joe was saying the same thing right before the show started. Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, I've been saying that I've been saying that for weeks, that he's a guy that I would look at. I want him just to hire somebody quick, get ahead of everybody, and again, don't go after Robert Saleh, don't go after
Rex Ryan.
What's that?
Rex Ryan.
Right. Hey, he's either going to be a head coach or he's going to stay stay at ESPN.
Some of the big names.
But don't go after a retread head coach, because these are guys that are going to want to take their time. They're going to want to interview for head coaching jobs. Go out and if it's Patrick Graham, I'd prefer not to get the guy from Patriots. Bengals have a thing of trying to pick up guys that go apeshit against them, like Sheldon Rankins. It doesn't work out. Just because the Patriots shut down the Bengals in 1 week doesn't mean doesn't mean that it's going to be a good fit. There's probably a dozen guys that we don't even know, we're not even thinking of. And someone in here is talking about defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, Al Golden. Yeah.
I've mentioned. I was talking about him on Bengals and Brews show. I was kind of mentioning him on that show.
Yeah, he's a guy. He was with the Bengals before as a defensive coordinator, as a defensive coach, linebackers coach before James Bedker, who just got shit canned. And again, there are a dozen guys out there that we haven't heard of that would probably be great fits. It has to do with making sure that someone fits with the personnel. You can't try to hire somebody that runs a scheme that you don't have the guys for. You're going to have Geno Stone, who wasn't equipped to handle safety under what Lou was asking. Like, you need to adapt your scheme, or you need to have a scheme that fits with the personnel that you have, or at least have a vision that makes sense. You're not trying to fit square pegs into round holes. Figure out, hey, we have zero pass rush on the interior defensive line. This is what I'm thinking. These are guys that I think would be good guys to pick up. These are guys in the draft. Have a good idea. It doesn't have to be somebody that we know of.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, everybody keeps throwing out all these big names. Like, it doesn't have to. Like, I'll say this before. I mean, look at the defense coordinator and offense coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, you heard of one of their names, but only because he made a big name at the job. Right. But I mean, that's the same. They weren't big coaching names before this, so you don't have to have a big name. Everybody gets stuck on these big names, and all the Bengals be cheap if they don't get them. You got to get somebody that's going to mesh. And I'll put another question here for you. With the offensive line coach, we're going to get a new one there, and Pollock was the offensive line coach and the running game coordinator. Would you stop calling me? Somebody from Canada keeps calling me. Stop calling me. Do you think that they're going to separate that job? Because we had a passing game coordinator this year for the first time. I think those jobs need to be separated. Neil, I'll go with you first. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for Cincinnati, I mean, everybody knew Frank Pollock was going to be gone right away. I mean, you even heard Orlando Brown was like, hey, I'm not surprised that it happened. He's helped me a lot, but I wasn't surprised by it. But, I mean, everybody watching Cincinnati's offensive line knew that there was too many holes and weaknesses for the Bengals' liking. Everybody knew Frank Pollock was going to be done after this season. It was kind of one of those writing on the wall as well. But overall, it's going to be interesting to see what the Bengals elect to do up front there and really do they go for a younger guy up there to coach their offensive lineman? That's going to be a position that's going to be really, really interesting to watch, because Cincinnati needs an up-and-coming mind to focus on that offensive line, especially with what they're assumed to be going with a potential first-round draft pick to maybe protect Joe Burrow again after the free agency signings. It's going to be interesting to see what they do up front, but they're going to need somebody who can come in there and get these guys ready to work with the fire under their butt real quick.
I think you absolutely need to make a phone call to Tennessee. I know he's coaching under his son, but with everything that's happening in Tennessee, I'm actually surprised that Brian Callahan survived. I mean, they fired the GM. 2 other coaches got let go after 1 season, and things didn't end there. I would absolutely make a call to Bill Callahan. If that you've got a job opening and you've got the best guy possible, like he's literally the best offensive line coach alive right now. I think you absolutely need to make a phone call down there, and at least to see if there's any interest, see if they'd had interest in any interest in letting them do an interview.
I mean, I agree, but I don't. I mean, I'll just put it this way: you make the phone call. I don't think Callahan takes the phone call because the son's still
Probably
there.
not.
Yeah,
Probably
so
not.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's reality. You know, I don't think. I mean, hey, but it's worth a phone call. I'm not saying
Exactly.
Yeah.
Worst is going to take you is 45 seconds.
Yeah, like no, I'm going to stay with my son. So, but yeah, somebody brought in the chat, brought this up a couple times. Is Willie Anderson? What you guys thought to him? Go ahead, Harrison. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we could do better. I'm not saying that he's not good at, will be able to coach, but I just think we need somebody from the outside to come in and shake shit up. We got the talent there. We just need somebody that's strong-minded and from the outside that knows to get us going. I'm tired of them, bringing people that we had in or, that know us and everything. Like, let's get somebody from the outside, a different set of eyes that probably played against us, seen what could be done, and take us to the promised land. Because we're not far off. We got the pieces.
We gotta get better guards though. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, I think Kappa won the Triple Crown as the worst offensive lineman as far as PFF goes. So,
I don't know. Cordell Volson got his shit ran through.
Yeah, Volson was getting this shit.
Neither one of them were very good this year. I mean, that's
that pancake that Pittsburgh had on Volson.
Oh, that was Hayward.
Hands up, bro. You got
it was bad.
Photo straight from the rip.
Yeah,
so that was where Burrow almost got concussed and got smacked by I forget who the linebacker. Like it was two guys. Maybe
where they drove him into the ground. It should have been a penalty. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had a whole bunch of grass in his helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he did. I don't know about you guys. I was freaking out. I was like, get up.
I thought he died. I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't see. I was on the phone calling everybody. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
You're like, Harris about to run on the field. Like, Joe, you okay? You okay?
Man,
That was going to be the moment where Harrison always joked about getting arrested when the Bengals lose. That was going to be the moment where Harrison was going to get arrested.
I was. I stood up and everything. They was cheering. I'm like, bro, y'all don't cheer for no shit like that. Like, Joe Burrow is dead out there.
Harrison was down there looking at the end of his section like, oh, yeah, I can get by this guy. I can jump.
Oh, yeah. I would have made it. I would have made it, too.
That was the night Harrison was going to jail. That was it.
Hey, if you would have jumped if you would have jumped down from the stands, you would have kept your pants on, right? You wouldn't have been one of those guys that hits the ground and everything falls, right?
No. We would have been good. I would have made sure everything was ready to go.
He was only doing that if the Bengals made the playoffs, and he was going out butt naked, is what I heard.
Hey, funny story. When UC went to the college football playoffs, when the people rushed the stands, there was some guy who jumped down right in front of JT and I out of the stands where it goes up in the south end zone. The guy jumped down, and when he hit the ground, his pants fell, and he blew out his knee. He got carried off.
Oh, my God.
It was crazy.
Damn.
It was crazy. He ended up telling us, like, when he fell, he was like, I think I tore my ACL or something. Like, nah, he real life got stretchered off after looking like a fool.
Hey, by the way, did you guys see the old fat guy do his victory lap? By the way, he made it and didn't have a heart attack.
Yeah, I was worried about him. I thought he was about to tweak something. I ain't know. I thought that flag was gonna make you go flying.
It only would have been better if there were the 12 inches of snow was on the ground.
Oh, dude, it would have been a very slow run if it was snowing like that. It would have been more like a walk, maybe a power walk.
See, what we didn't see is you remember the dude a couple weeks ago at Millions that was celebrating passing the EMT school. Jeff made contacts and he had him behind the camera. So as soon as Jeff turned the camera off, dude had a face mask on him, sucking air like Sam Hubbard after the fumble return.
I was tired. I hadn't done a victory lap in a while, so I was a little tired. But it was. I mean, I do want to ask you guys this. We're talking coaching changes here, but let's roll back to the Chiefs game. They didn't even fucking show up. I mean, I really did not think that they were going to beat the Broncos, but at least I was hoping they gave us hope. I mean, dude, people were calling me after the 2 touchdowns, like, it's over. I'm like, we got a long ways to go. They can come back. Nope. And they're right. It was over. It wasn't even close. They didn't even show. You can't tell me their secondary players are that bad. They didn't give 2 craps about winning that game. They didn't even try.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, the schemes were basic. They didn't run anything to rein back because the players were playing. I mean, these are guys, the guys that are on their 2 deep. These are guys that need jobs next year. So
Ain't nobody getting hired. Everybody getting fired. Nobody got a single piece of tape to go send to a team that said I ain't worth of anything.
Right.
They
I mean,
that was worse than JV football.
I mean, the quarterback came in all dressed up to the 9. You know, where the hell what was Wentz? Wentz
Carson
came in all Carson Wentz came all
That man
dressed
threw
up
for 98 yards. I'm telling you right now, I could go out there and throw for 98 yards. I don't care. I will sign myself up to play one NFL game, and I'm saying I'm gonna get 98 yards. I don't know how or what, but I'm going for 98 yards. Fuck that. I can't. No.
It was. I was just God. Which I mean, me and Joe talked about this Friday Night Millie. We needed 7 things to happen. 7, and we had 6 of them. We had. I mean,
yeah.
That's the most craziest thing about
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
Like at first it sounded like it sounded far fetched. Like it's no way, the Colts are gonna lose, Miami's gonna lose, the Chargers beat Denver. Like everything it was just like I love to tell people that was just to get us fans through the season. Like so we just like have something to look forward to. Next thing you know, the Chargers win, we like okay. Next thing you know, the Colts lose, we like what the hell is going on? And it's now Miami lose, and it literally falls all on the Chiefs. Come on now. And then they just went out there and was like, ha, fuck you.
Yeah.
And
the Chiefs went like this to us, like, yeah, you ain't getting to the playoffs. That's exactly what they did.
And I don't buy that the Chiefs were trying to keep the Bengals out. I don't think they gave a shit. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Bengals 3 straight times with Burrow, without Burrow. I don't think they cared. It's people out there saying, "Oh, they're trying." Like, no, they didn't care. They just wanted to rest their guys, give them another week.
But they didn't even score a fucking point. It was 38 to nothing.
I'm telling you,
at least try.
They weren't trying to. They were
I mean, that was the Bengals. Look, remember the 2 years ago when the Bengals didn't try against the Browns? We at least scored. We at least made it somewhat. At least, I mean, it wasn't even. Why did they even play the game?
Okay, go back to 2009 when the Bengals played the Jets in the last game, and then ended up having to play in the very next week in the playoffs. Bengals didn't play anybody. Bengals got shut out. It happens. It sucks.
I hope the Chiefs get shut out, just like the Bengals.
It sucks that it was consequential. Listen, I think the Chiefs are going to look like shit when they get back on the field because again, it'll be 24 or 25 days depending on whether they play Saturday or Sunday in the divisional round.
This is crazy.
It'll be 24 or 25 days since the last time Mahomes, Kelsey, any of those guys saw faced a different team.
Yeah, but
that's almost 4 weeks. That's almost a full month.
Yeah, this is crazy what August said. Technically, Casey's knocked us out all 3 years, which is true.
Yeah.
They knocked us out, beat us twice, and now they lost and kept us out. Fuck.
Yeah. The Bengals losing to the Jets knocked the Steelers, kept the Steelers out of the playoffs, but it didn't, I don't think the Bengals actually cared about keeping the Steelers out. And, it's all about just, staying healthy and making sure no one gets hurt. So,
well, and that goes back to somehow Zach and the Bengals have got to figure out how to get off to a better start. You win that New England game, we're in.
I think he got the. I think he got the picture now. Because everybody in Cincinnati is not gonna let him down. Nobody is gonna let him get away with this anymore. If we start the season off slow again, he doesn't make it through the whole season. I'll tell you that right now. He doesn't make it through the whole season. We have to start off 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, something.
We need to.
Yeah. It's no more of this going 1-4 and shit. No. I don't see.
You need a defensive coordinator and coaches in general that need to be able to figure it out quicker. They need to be able to, whatever's going on, they need to figure it out quicker.
And the thing is, too, for Cincinnati, obviously they just released their full schedule of opponents for next year. Look at who they have coming to Paycor next year.
You mean Paycheck Stadium?
Yeah, Paychecks, whatever it might be. You know how that naming rights go. Yeah. They realistically should be every team outside of maybe Detroit next season at home. Detroit's going to be the only one. If they take care of what they got to do to take care of at home, they'll be perfectly fine. Because
there's a lot of yada-yadaing over the Steelers and the Ravens. Come on now. Like, yeah, the Bengals, like, Steelers aren't – they're the worst 9-8, 10-7 team year after year after year. But that's always a tough game. And the Ravens are the Ravens. I'm not going to yada-yada over those guys.
Yeah, but you think Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and George Pickens are going to do anything next year? No. Russell Wilson.
Are they even keeping him?
Yeah.
He's up for he's going to get signed to a big-ass contract.
They're all on one-year deals. Fields and Wilson are. So.
Yeah, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be next year, but Pickens is up for especially since he was a second rounder. He doesn't have that 5th-year option. So
I hope that we sign him because he's a head case. I hope they deserve him.
Yeah, he's a great receiver when he's got his head screwed on, but it's easy to get him knocked out of his game.
Guys, you're talking about George Pickens. That guy's never had his head squared on straight. Look at what he did on draft night. Like
he has it on for like games at a time, but like
you didn't see him on draft night, Jeff?
I don't pay attention to what the Steelers do.
He fell out of the first round, and so he ended up watching the second round at home instead of the green room. And he was in a gray tank top with a mask, like a ski mask on, and he was standing there like this. Right in front of the TV with his bent back bent all weird. White beater tank top. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that would have passed on him right then and there. Like, no. But
here's the thing that, we get on Zach Taylor because they start out terribly every single year. What's like kind of frustrating is the point of that is so they stay strong and stay healthy by the end of the year. In December, every single year under him, they're awesome. They're amazing. So it's like, do we want them to get like how much? Like I understand like the goal is to start strong and finish strong, but
at least start 500.
Right. It's like he has proof of concept.
They can't get so far behind. I agree with what you're saying because usually November
win game one. Game one. That's all I care about. Win the first fucking game.
Yeah, usually November, December they start cooking and take off. But you just got to stop getting so far behind. They got to at least be 500 in September and October, at least.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, Joey. On Saturday, Pickens had 1 catch, 5 or 6 targets, 3 drops, 0 yards. That legitimately is the greatest stat line I think I've ever seen in my life.
It's amazing. And I like the videos that I posted, people are like, you laughing, but try and make the playoffs. Why are you laughing? I bet you're not laughing now. I just took a screenshot of Pickens' stat, and I took a screenshot of the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule, and they haven't won a game since, I think, December 15th. And I'm like,
they won 1 week after they beat the Bengals. That was it.
I'm like, this is what I'm laughing at right here. Yeah. And they don't respond, or they just laugh because they know.
Ravens are gonna boat race them. I think.
I'm telling you, I might wear some purple. I might.
If Cody Ford can take away T.J. Watt, imagine what Baltimore is gonna do.
Right.
What's funny is I actually think that the Steelers have a shot, but they're gonna get smoked. Even if they do win, they're gonna get smoked the next week.
How do you think they have a shot?
Oh. Because the Steelers and the Ravens play like the Bengals and the Steelers and the Bengals. Like the games are hard fought games. Like it's not gonna be a boat race.
I'm telling you.
Derrick Henry's going for 102 touchdowns versus Pittsburgh.
I like that.
There you go.
I think Lamar's gonna throw for 350 and Derrick's not gonna run a ton.
Oh shit. They have been doing that. They have been flip flopping.
Yeah.
Who's Lamar going to throw to if Zay Flowers ain't out there with that knee sprain? So his status.
He'll throw to himself. Shit, he's fast enough.
He'll throw it to himself. I think that's illegal. I don't really think you're allowed to do that.
He's got such a damn rifle. You just throw it really hard off of like a linebacker's like face mask and just get the rebound.
I think that only happened one time. LaMarcus Mariota.
That happened. I saw that
the other day.
Yeah, I saw that on some. I can't remember if it was a college or an NFL game that happened the other day. Somebody threw it and it doinked off an offensive lineman, and the quarterback caught it and ran and then tried to throw it again. I don't remember what game that was. But there's so many football games I watched lately, but yeah. But get back to the Bengals here. I'm excited about what's to come because I do think them going quickly and getting this process started is a good thing. because I think it's going to happen. I can see by next week we got a DC. I don't think it's going to take that long, to be honest. I don't think they're going to, like Al Golden, we say him, but they keep playing on the playoffs. He might not be able to interview. I think Zach wants to get this going because, one, these guys got to get in here, and they're scouts. They got to get in here and start figuring out what they want to do because you got free agency coming up real quick. You got the draft coming up. They need to get in here and get going. Hopefully, you hire whoever that guy is, and then very quickly you sign Jamar and T and get that out the way, and then bring on free agency, bring on the draft, and then next thing we know, we're in OTAs. But I'm excited about it. I do think Zach's got a better chance of getting his first pick this time instead of last time because this is a very exciting DC job to have because you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. What do you guys think?
One thing that I think I would, and again, like I said before, like the names don't matter. It could be someone that I don't know. If the Bengals were to hire Patrick Graham, do you know who he could bring along with him as the linebackers coach? Antonio Pierce, the former head coach. Antonio Pierce has a lot. Like he was a really damn good linebacker, and in his own right, he was a good linebackers coach. Yeah. That's one reason that I would maybe put him above. But yeah, just get the offseason going. Again, I don't care. Like people are asking, who do you want to win the Super Bowl? I don't care. I don't want the Lions to win just because I don't want a team to win that hasn't won before us. Yeah. Same reason I don't want the Vikings to win.
I don't want the Chiefs to win. So I guess I do. I care who. I care about more who I don't want to win than I do. I don't care who wins. I just know who I don't want to win.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
I don't want the Rams to win.
Why
you don't want the Rams to win? Yeah, I don't want the Rams to win.
No.
Yeah, I don't want the Rams to win. Nah. See,
Harrison, where'd you go? Harrison, where'd you go, brother?
It's getting darker and darker in the car. Okay.
Do you have a dome light?
So you got.
I got this. I got to stood up. Like it's hard being black out here in the dark. All right, damn
I
it.
was gonna say, can you at least smile or something for me?
I'm trying my best. You know, y'all got about 5 more minutes of me, and then I'm done with this shit. Okay. It's hard.
Do you have the heat on in the car with you?
Hell yeah, I got the heat on. It's cold as hell out here.
Shit, man.
Well, I didn't know.
Too.
Just making sure you're not gonna freeze to death on me in there.
The car is on, baby. The car is on. Yeah, well, I'm wasting gas for your ass.
I love you, Harrison. Speaking of wasting gas, how just real quick, I do want to hear your experience of going to Pittsburgh and then driving back in this snowstorm. What was the whole thing like?
It was actually fun. It was fun. We
What's wrong with you?
What? It was fun.
Driving through snow, man.
Oh, not that part. I'm talking about
okay.
the actually Pittsburgh. It was fun. I was nervous at first because I didn't know what to expect. But their fans was actually cool. It was a couple little dickheads, but it was fun. Like I made sure to establish myself when I got there in my seats.
You established dominance.
Yeah, I told everybody I come in peace. We gonna have a good game. And we gonna have fun.
You didn't tell them to suck it? You're like,
no, I did not. And I made sure to stay my ass in my seat. I got up and cheered. I pointed to my Bengals fans and I sat down. There was a couple of us sitting around. I was very respectful. But even their fans were tired of Russell Wilson and George Pickens. So it made it so much more better. Because they were like, what the hell is this? They were pissed. And I'm just sitting here chilling, eating my popcorn, drinking my beer, just laughing at them being so upset that their team is ass. And they know it.
Yeah.
They know it. They can act hard on social media and act like, oh, we got 6 rings. They are stressed. I've seen it with my own eyes. I heard it. They wanted us to get into the playoffs. They kept saying,
I heard somebody say that on your video. I heard somebody say that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, man, I hope y'all deserve it. We playing like shit. Y'all should take our spot. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm telling Pittsburgh they know they gonna lose though. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah. But
it's everybody, it's these other what they call them, social media bullies. Yeah. That's oh, we still got it. We still got it. No, you don't. Like, no, you don't. Like, they were like, y'all really gonna send us to Baltimore? I'm like, get y'all bags packed. Y'all ain't going to Houston. Y'all going to Baltimore. By the end, when everybody was walking out, I was like, enjoy Baltimore. They're like, fuck you.
Hey, the alternative's Cancun, so.
Yeah, exactly. I might rather go to Cancun than Baltimore.
Man.
So, what was the ride like coming back in the snowstorm? Because I texted you like, dude, I hope you left early enough.
I'm telling you, the roads, it was nothing but sunshine and clear skies, all until we got 30 minutes out.
Yeah.
I think we were in Columbus. It was like right when we got in the middle of that, to be like 30, 45 minutes, like dating kind of. Once we got in there, it just started going. I'm like, God. But like it took till we got back at like 2. And it really like didn't start hitting until about like 4 or 5 when it got like crazy. So by then I was already back at home, so it was cool.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you didn't get arrested. I'm glad you didn't have to run around butt naked, because I would have preferred you had to do that, because then the Bengals would have been in the playoffs. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought if I
Yeah,
do
that's the reason Jeff would have preferred you to run around butt naked. Yeah.
That was a wild Facebook post. I sent it in the group chat. I was like, Harrison, what are you tripping on?
like what was funny? I got food. I was sitting at the bar and I had a beer, and I was just like, I'm about to say something crazy, and I was just like, I just typed it, and I was like, this is funny, and I posted it, and I'm like, why the hell is 300 people liking this? Why is everybody commenting? I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. But then people are like, I'm screenshotting it. You need to go Facebook Live. I'm like, I was like, if it was any moment, I was praying that I did not have to do that. I was like, God.
You would definitely went to jail, but dude, it would have been totally worth it. It would have been totally worth it.
Yeah, I would have had a lot of thinking to do with myself.
Nobody would have heard from Harrison. He would have deactivated that Facebook real quick.
Yeah, but people were sending me the screenshot. I already screenshotted it. I got it screenshotted.
Neil screenshot it. He put it in our group text.
I'm like,
my phone got hacked, man. My phone got hacked. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was
who this? I don't know who this is.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
I saw that after, what was it? Like halfway through the game, I was like, "Oh shit, Harrison, you tripping for this one?"
Yeah, that was one of them ones I need to. I learned a valuable lesson to watch what you. What were
you sipping? What were you sipping on at the bar that made you feel that way? That's the real.
I was still hungover from the game, feeling good, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna be naked on the internet by the end of the night."
hey, Harrison, Augie says you had nothing to lose. You ain't got to worry about the shrinkage.
Not at all.
Just dragging it alongside with you.
Not at all. It's all good. The world is good. The world doesn't have to see Harrison's ass on the internet.
Thank God.
Thank God.
But that's just what I would go through to see my Bengals in the playoffs. Just know that, you know.
I respect that. Harrison. I'm with you on that one.
All the folks listening, they're gonna hold you to that one for the next years to come, buddy. You should.
It's over with now. It's over with. That was a one-time thing. It would never happen.
You know you're gonna say some shit like that next year.
I promise I'm not. I promise. I'm watching what I say, because
all right, everybody, go follow Harrison the comedian on Instagram and Facebook. So you can make sure when he says crazy shit like this, we can hold him to it.
No,
Internet is undefeated and forever.
It's not at all. I see right now your words will haunt you forever, and I like a valuable.
You got 3
words. That's not your words that we're talking about, man.
You got 3 boys here. We'll make sure you remember that.
I'm cool. That was a once in a lifetime thing. I'm glad we all got to experience.
I'm not begging for it, man. I don't want him to follow through, dude. I want the Bengals in the playoffs, but I don't want him to follow through.
It's literally
it's following through. It's happening.
It's over with. Why? It's done. Yeah. It's not coming back. We can't bring that back.
Well, we'll just get you some Hennessy, and we'll get you to see crazy shit again.
I don't even like Hennessy. That was racist.
Wait, what was it that what was the shot we took? It wasn't Hennessy. What was that?
I do tequila.
That was
Huh?
Yeah, you do JMO. I drink tequila.
Jameson. Yeah, I like Yeg. That's what I wanted. Jaeger. That's what I wanted.
Why
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
have Jameson in?
I don't know. I just said pick something. They're like, how about Jameson? I'm
I
like,
didn't
all right.
pick it.
Well, somebody picked it. I didn't pick it. And I'm like, woo!
confirmed.
That
Jeff did not make it to the Denver game because he got too cooked.
The Browns game.
No,
the Browns game.
Browns game.
Yeah.
Was that-
Denver
oh,
game
yeah.
I made it too. Browns game I did. Denver game, no.
You-
No.
You were somebody different.
It would not been good at all.
He went from Iceman to Jeffrey real quick.
Exactly. Exactly.
The alter ego came out.
Exactly.
It was
all right. Now we did have some Reds news. I know Joe was bringing it up. The Reds made a trade this week. Gavin Lux, if I'm saying his name right. Lux. He's an infielder, outfielder, can play second, third, outfield. We traded for him, and we had Jonathan India. So we traded for another second baseman. I think it's okay. I don't know. Go ahead, Joe. I know you got some thoughts on this.
It's a decent move. He's Jonathan India could only play second base. He doesn't have a good enough bat to be a DH. Gavin Lux was one of the top prospects in baseball a few years ago. Kind of kicked around. He's been okay. Had a knee injury, missed all of 2023. Second half of last year, he was lights out. He hit like 320, 390 on base percentage, and a 500 on base percent or 500 slugging percentage. Basically, he changed his approach. Reds, is it the perfect? Like, is it the most ideal hit? Like the most ideal pickup? No, they need a right-handed hitting outfielder, but he's a guy who's got some outfield experience, not a ton, like 35 games. Reds are going to try to see what he can do elsewhere around the infield besides second base, but it also frees them up. Maybe they put McLean out in the outfield from time to time. It completely locks Steer in at left field, but it also gives them more protection so that they're not reliant on CES and Jamer Candelario to come back off of injury strong and Noelvi Marte.
Harrison, so you can go in the house if you want to. You gotta stay in the car.
I love you.
You go to
see the outline.
No, I actually got to drive. I'm not even at home. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go drive, and if we're still on, you can jump back on. All right.
I see y'all, boys.
See you, Harrison. Appreciate
Y'all
it.
tired not seeing my black ass. It's okay.
I like seeing your. I was hoping to see your black ass, but it didn't happen.
I see ya.
See you, Harrison.
See you, man.
All right,
but yeah, it's a good move. He's better than who would have been playing instead of him. There's still work to be done, so we'll see.
Neil, what do you think about it?
Me personally, I like the move. Obviously, as Joe mentioned, he was one of the top prospects in baseball in recent years. But for Cincinnati, obviously, this is a guy who's versatile. He can play in just about any different position, it feels like. But what he did last season towards the end of the year was incredible. I think, as Joe mentioned, he hit 320 towards the end of the year. But this is also a guy who is absolutely mashed at Great American Ballpark in his time here. I think he's played here in 8 games with the Dodgers over recent years. And in those 8 games, he's hitting 300. I think he's had 3 home runs, hit the absolute cover off the ball. So if you're a Reds fan, you're looking back, you got a guy who, and everybody knows too, when Gavin Lux was getting brought up, there was a lot of people complimenting the way his bat speed and his offensive game was. So on top of it, you bring a hitter into a hitter's ballpark. I like the move, but as Joe mentioned, you still need that right-handed power bat. So it's going to be interesting to see what they kind of do with him, whether they keep him in the infield, DH him, move him around to the outfield, or if they move a guy like Matt McLean or even Noelvi Marte. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But me personally, I like the addition. It shows that they're trying to make moves and be aggressive at least.
And Nick Kroll kind of, because bring up the right-handed bat, Nick Kroll kind of pretty much said that's probably the end of the moves. I mean, he said maybe, or however he said it. He didn't really.
He said there's wiggle room with the budget. They're also, because they added the comp pick that went back to the Dodgers, that frees up $2.5 million. There's money there if they want to go get Lou Bob. It's a matter of who are they willing to give up. The Reds, and also with the pitcher they picked up, Owen White, they traded just cash considerations to the Rangers. He's pitched a whole 7 innings in the majors. He was a top 100 prospect going into 2023. Has 7 pitches.
I That's a lot.
Starting pitching depth. I honestly
Can
think
he get them all over the plate?
Well, that's part of the issue is he struggled with command. He's a guy that I think you take those 7 pitches, you tell him to pick your 3 best, pick your best fastball. I mean, he throws a 4-seamer, cutter, and a sinker. Pick your best one, pick a breaking ball on your changeup, and unleash him in the pen. And I think he'd be a good weapon down there too. Has always missed a lot of bats in the minors. Again, you pare down that and you let him work specifically just on a few pitches and. With Derek Johnson, he's not going to turn shit to chicken soup, but I trust him enough to take someone with talent to be able to just kind of condense and pare down what he's best at.
Right.
So,
and the thing is that the health is going to be a major issue this year because that was the biggest problem with the Reds last year. They couldn't stay healthy. I mean, they had Matt McLain all year. And CES, he played the first month, that was it. And Marte was out for 50 games. So, I mean, those 3 guys, if they can come back and perform to the level that we've seen them do, that alone right there is going to help. And then you got also Jake Fraley, who started coming along here in the last month of the season. He was finally healthy and got through all his.
Well, he wasn't dealing with the health of his kid, which I think more than anything else, that's what Yeah,
he don't have to deal with that this year. So all those things are going to be, if they all stay healthy, are going to be better going into the season. I still would like them to get a right-handed power bat.
If you look at their roster, they're still, I mean, again, they're heavy on the infield, which, again, everyone said they were so heavy on the infield last year. Everyone got hurt or got PED suspension, and they had to get Santiago Espinal before the season, and Nick Martini.
He played
Mike
great,
Ford.
by the way.
He was a smart pickup. I knew he was. And they still had to play Mike Ford, Santiago, or Nick Martini and all these scrubs at DH. That being said, they have a surplus of starting pitchers. They have a surplus of infielders. Now, there's no such thing as too many starting pitchers, but I think that they've just kind of stocked up to make a trade, and it's making that proper trade. I honestly, and you, I mean, you know me, I've been saying this back to the end of the season. The trades where they're going to get their bat. It's not going to be free agent. I honestly think that they're trying to get Lubob, and it's finding the right guys. And maybe it takes Matt McLain. Maybe that's why they got Gavin Lux, is because they're looking to throw Matt McLain in a deal.
Now, for people who don't know who Lubob is, like me, to explain who he is.
Luis Robert, the center fielder for the White Sox. Dude's an absolute stud.
That guy. I got you.
Had injury issues, but when he's on the field, amazing defensive player and just an absolute fantastic middle of the order right-handed bat.
That sounds perfect. Then you could put TJ Friedel in right or left field and Steers in right or left, however you want to do it. That's your center fielder right there. I'm from what you're saying. It sounds good to me. Neil, what do you think?
Yeah, I would love that move to happen, but most certainly it's now going to be, hey, does Nick Krall want to make that move? Or it's going to be interesting, but I've been saying it with Joe. I would love for that move to happen, but it's going to take giving up one of your top prospects to do it, in my opinion.
Are you willing to give up McLain?
Or someone like Matt McLain, who's a young MLB, like already an MLB player, which would hurt to lose.
Are you willing to give up Matt McLain?
Yeah, because he's, I don't want to say superfluous like at all, because he's better than who would be replacing him. But you have to look at, is Gavin Lux and Matt McLain better than Gavin Lux and Luis Robert, or whatever the permutation is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to hurt. You're gonna have to give up something, and it's not like you can give up everybody in your top 10 prospects, but they're gonna want somebody who is young and has already had success in the major leagues.
All right,
that's
so
either a starting pitcher or an infielder.
Let's say they do. Say they give up Matt McLain, and one thing that I think Matt McLain. With the departure of Jonathan India, Matt McLain is the de facto leader of this team. What I think, with him, if you do trade him,
Stevenson, I think Ty Steve. Matt McLain's been on the Reds for 120 games.
I know, but he's like, dude, when he's not there, that clubhouse is different. It is, and I guess Stevenson, but I mean, I haven't seen it from him, to be honest. Really, that would be my issue with it. Is not because we don't know how Matt McLain's going to come back from injury. It's more of the clubhouse, the leadership, stuff like that. Because I still remember 2 years ago when Matt McLain got hurt and we went, and I know we had starting pitching issues and all that stuff, but the team just wasn't the same without him. It just wasn't. And he's a difference maker in that clubhouse. Neil, what's your thoughts on losing McLain? if they do.
Yeah, if that was a move they would make, I definitely think it could be a substantial loss because obviously, despite being in the majors for only a year and a half, he's made a significant impact, especially as a clubhouse guy coming in right away. But overall, I mean, I don't think the loss, if you ship off McLean in a deal, I don't think it hurts the clubhouse as much as compared to losing a guy like Tyler Stevenson, a TJ Friedel, or one of those guys who have been around for the last few seasons and established that veteran role, or Spencer Steer even. I don't think losing a Matt McLean in the clubhouse is going to be more substantial in terms of leadership role compared to one of those three guys.
I mean, you would want Ellie to be that guy, but I don't know if Ellie is that. I mean, as far as a leader goes, I mean, he's the best player on the team for sure. But I don't know. Do you think he could eventually go into that role to be like the de facto captain of the team?
Candelario was brought in a lot because of his leadership capabilities. He's a good leader. He was just hurt and wasn't around the team. If you forget about him.
True.
Like you want veteran leadership. You don't go after your guys that have been around for a year and a half. Like that's why they brought in Candelario. That's why it's why Ty Stevenson is still around. I legitimately think with Maley gone because Maley was a leader.
Yeah,
he was a leader, not a good hitter. No. And his defense slacked last year. But if your catcher, if you have a catcher who's a stand-up guy and who's a leader, that's someone who. Like that's who you want. Even coaching my coaching junior high school kids that I have. I had a catcher who was a leader, and that's the guy because those are the guys that absolutely wear it, that they get worn out, that bust their ass more than any other player day after day after day. And I think Stevenson is that guy. So I mean,
hey, and you might be right. I don't know. I just haven't seen. Yeah. I just know what I saw with my own eyes when McLean. Yeah. And I'm not.
It's absolutely anecdotal.
Yeah, I like the idea of because I think it looks a pretty good defensive second baseman. He can hit. You put him there. You got what do you say, Robert in center field. That is I'm always your defense. You got to have it up the middle. You have Stevenson who got better at catching last year, better framing. You got Ellie who can play shortstop, second baseman, and a pretty good center fielder. I'm always for defensive wise, and that's the Reds do have to get better at catching the freaking ball. And that's when that would solidify it up the middle, getting those guys, I think.
Yeah, it's go ahead, Nick.
No, yeah, I'm the same way because overall they're going to have to become a better defensive team. So in order to win, they're going to have to be a better defensive team than what they were last year. But for me, I would like to see them make a move and get rid of a guy like Will Benson or one of those other guys in the outfield and have a plethora of outfield.
What are you going to get for Will Benson, though?
You don't get rid of him; you just release him.
Yeah.
He'll be Louisville.
If Will Benson is your fourth or fifth outfielder, I'm okay with that. To be honest, I think he's a good guy off the bench. He's got speed. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he can pinch hit, but speed off the bench is good, and he's a good defensive outfielder. So I'm okay with him being your fourth or fifth outfielder right now.
Yeah, I'm there with you, but overall, I mean, when you could potentially have an outfield that's starting every day of a potential Spencer Steer, TJ Friedel, potentially Luis Robert, Gavin Lux, whatever that might be. Obviously, you would play those four guys over a potential Will Benson. So it's going to be interesting. And then you still have Jake Fraley in the mix. I would play Jake Fraley over. I would play Will Benson. So overall, it's definitely something to keep an eye on for sure.
I mean, if you look at that defensive outfit, it's not bad. I mean, Spencer Steer is what he is. But if you got TJ Friedel and why I keep forgetting the guy's name we're talking about, Lubob. If you got those two guys out there, it's a pretty good defensive outfield right there. And Steer is what Steer is. I mean, I know metrics or whatever, he's not very good, but he's okay for a left fielder. I mean, you could live with him out there. And like you said, with this move to getting Lux here, he's going to be an outfielder. And now we said that last year, and if you get a whole bunch of injuries, then he can start moving around again. So you never know. But on paper, he's your everyday left fielder. We'll see what happens. But we got 108 days, I think, or 107 days till opening day now.
Less than 80.
Yeah. Are you getting
44 days until spring training games and less than 80 days until opening day. Let's freaking go.
Let's go. Now tonight we got our UC Bearcats playing Baylor for their third Big 12 game. I did not expect them to be 0-2. I do not like what I've seen. We can't shoot for some reason, which is one of the things that I thought we'd be able to do. I'm concerned by this, guys, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff that we saw last year. We got the Big 12 play where we couldn't shoot, and down the stretch of that last game, there's too many drives right down the middle, and nobody stopped them, which I didn't like that either. Neil, you're the one who covers the team. What's your concern on the Bearcats' offense and their play in general, starting Big 12 play?
Yeah, there's most definitely concerns because, I mean, obviously, we always talked about how important the first 4 games of Big 12 play were, but there's real possibility that if they do start 0-4, the NCAA tournament hopes that everyone was talking about in the offseason could be potentially back on the bubble. Yeah. So overall, you have a big one tonight, but 5 for 25 from behind the 3-point line versus Arizona. 3 for 21, I believe, not 3 for 21, but 7 for like 28 versus Kansas State. They have struggled to shoot the 3 ball. That's no question doubt on that aspect. But for Cincinnati, they got to find a groove. They got to find something from Simas Lukosius because he has definitely been teamed up well to start Big 12 play, and teams have done a great job at taking him out of the equation.
They got to figure out how to run him off screens or something to get him the ball. They've got to figure, because he's not even getting the shots he's getting aren't even good looks.
No, and obviously everyone's going to kind of point to the free throws. Free throw shooting has always been an issue for Cincinnati.
We haven't been able to shoot free throws for 30 freaking years. I don't know why. We just can't.
Has always been an issue versus Cincinnati. I mean, 12 of 23 versus Arizona. Heck, if they go 16 for 23 versus Arizona, they win that game potentially.
I take it.
So.
Right.
But on top of it, tonight's not going to be an easy challenge for Cincinnati. Everybody knows that. Baylor is a very good team, and Scott Drew is a hell of a coach on top of things. So overall, this is going to be a hard-fought match. But Cincinnati is coming off a loss. Baylor, I'm worried about this game because Baylor got absolutely destroyed by Iowa State, blown out by 19 points on Saturday. This could be a game where it could be a dogfight, or Baylor could just come out here absolutely pissed off, and people are going to see what VJ Edgecombe is actually about, being a projected top 5 draft pick. Things could get ugly tonight in Waco, Texas, if Cincinnati comes off to a slow start, because Scott Drew will keep his foot on the gas, but Cincinnati's offense has to wake up. Their defense, I think, has been fine, but their offensive game has to wake up ahead of this one.
Yes, it has to. And Dylan Mitchell is I think, going to be the best defensive player in the country, but he cannot shoot free throws. It is awful. And you can't have him in close games like this. You can't have him on the court, at least on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think, because just like one can't say it, Arizona did. They fouled him, and that's to me.
I think teams are going to want him on. I think Wes Miller is going to have him on the court, obviously, just due to everything else he brings.
On the defense side of the ball, but offense,
I don't know. Dylan's kind of that guy who's in the post who can go and get you an easy layup when you
but they just go foul him, then they can't shoot it. That's the thing.
Teams will start doing the hack-a-shack on guys like Aziz Bandego or Dylan Mitchell. I think everybody knows that. But it's just going to be an interesting thing because the last time he went 0 for 5 from the line, he did some workouts with the GA or a team manager, and he came back and he went perfect from the line the very next game. So I'm going to be curious to see how he responds tonight, but they're going to need to take some points from the line, especially when they're gimmies. Those are 3 points, Big 12 play. You got to make those count.
Exactly. Joe, what's your thoughts?
Dylan Mitchell is shooting 25% from the free throw line, 9 of 36. Like, that's
awful.
I've legitimately, I suck at basketball, and I think I could probably hit 25%. That's 1 of 4. It's weird. I don't know, man. It's Bearcats have just been frustrating because we thought, dude, they're too deep at every spot, and Connor Hickman isn't giving them shit.
Their bench is giving them no production.
Yes, those are things that are scary.
Ayrton Page, almost, I don't want to say he's a waste of a scholarship. He's a year away from being able to contribute.
Where's Betsy at? He's supposed to be this phenomenal shooter, and you've seen it in practice.
He's a freshman, so
I know, but hit something.
Yeah,
I mean, they put him in there, and he can't.
Put Josh Reed in to at least play some defense.
Yeah.
The thing that's going to be interesting is in a game like tonight, where obviously Connor Hickman rolls an ankle versus Arizona. Sounds like he's going to be available to play from the sources we have talked to. positive sign for Cincinnati, but this could be a game where they could give CJ Frederick minutes off the bench potentially in hopes of sparking some kind of offense. So that could be something to keep an eye on tonight too.
Well, that game is tonight at 8 o'clock. It's on ESPN Plus. Unfortunately, I hate when it's on ESPN Plus. But we do have, I'll get this comment. We have a Raiders fan in here talking about Graham. He said, Arto, I think that's how you say his name. If I pronounced your name wrong, I'm sorry. Welcome to the show. As a Raiders fan, Graham is solid. He won't be amazing, but you won't want him fired either. Turned around our struggling defense and them 9th ranked in 2023. And honestly, I've said this a lot. We don't need a lockdown defense. We don't. We just need a middle of the road defense. We need, and I'm okay if it's great. I don't care. I don't have a horse in the race that it's got to be this guy or we're gonna suck.
If you have a donkey in the race,
I might have a donkey in the race. We'll see.
Okay.
His name's Pedro. He's way in the back.
Just checking.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys say? I mean, is it? I don't think either one of you guys that it's got to be Robert Saleh or I'm upset. What real quick here before we get out of here.
I mean, people are going to lose their mind, whoever it is, because I really want this guy or they're not serious. Like, people said the same about Lou Anarumo.
Right. I brought that point up on Bengals and Brewers. Exactly. Yep.
Now, as generally speaking, the Bengals we're a terrible defense the 6 years that Anarumo was there, but they carried them down the stretch in 21 and parts of 22. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. Again, all of these guys know football. Like, these guys that get fired, they suck. They don't. No, they all know 10 times the football that 99% of us do. Yes. It has to do with, are the Bengals giving them talent? Now, Bengals gave Lou Anarumo talent. Again, bitch all you want about letting an all-pro safety out. An all-pro safety isn't going to win you games. It's going to help. It's the back line of your defense.
Well, and then when you sign off when you sign off on his replacement, you got to make that guy work.
Right. The Bengals have 3 scouts, so they rely on their coaching, especially coordinators for scouting and for pro scouting and college guys. 9 top 100 draft picks in the last 3 years. Can you think of any of the top 100 draft picks in the past 3 years that's a legit contributor in 2025? Maybe McKinley Jackson. I don't know. Chris Jenkins looked terrible the last half of the season. And I'm not down on him.
Josh Newton looked pretty good.
But he's not a top 100 pick. I'm talking about guys first 3 rounds. Yeah, Dax Hill, Cam Taylor-Britt. Maybe DJ Turner looked good and then has looked bad and then he's looked good and then he's gotten hurt. That's the thing
with Lou. It's like just the whole thing with Cam Taylor-Britt. We thought he was going to be our number 1 DB. I still think he has potential to do that, but he fell backwards this year. You can't have that. You can't and it's on Cam and it's on Cam and it's on the coaching staff. You can't go backwards. You got to be able to go forward, and that's especially when they are counting on you to be the number 1 DB. When you draft Dax Hill to replace Jesse Bates, you got to make that work, and it didn't. So and we're still trying to replace him. So that's, to me, that's the downfall of Lou Anarumo, and that's what our next defense coordinator has got to be able to do. He's got to be able to get this young talent to produce. Neil, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I think most certainly they're going to have to find a way to get this defense turned around. But overall, everybody knew heading into this offseason that Zach Taylor wasn't going anywhere. I think we've all talked about what it would have to take for that situation to happen, but everybody knew.
Miss the playoffs again next year, he might be gone.
The seat's definitely getting hotter.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
But
I will say that. I'm a Zach Taylor guy. I'm just saying.
The seat's definitely getting hotter, but everybody knew that Cincinnati ownership was going to give him 1 more year. But you expected changes to make, but it definitely has to be made now or never, because if these changes don't work out in the stands for the Bengals, Zach Taylor could be looking for a new job next season potentially. So
absolutely,
it's now or never for Cincinnati.
Yep, exactly. All right. Neil, tell everybody where they can follow you at before I let you go.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Twitter over on Twitter, or the X, what people call it nowadays, MeyerNeil6. You can find us out over at the Front Office News, aka CincinnatiRivals.com. I also co-host the Bearcat Blitz podcast and the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast. So those are with Russ Heltman, Alex Meacham, and Jason Smith. So check us out over there as well.
All right, Neil, appreciate you, man. Go follow him for all the updates on the game tonight, too, because he'll be tweeting
Yes, sir.
There you go. I appreciate you, Neil.
Yep, appreciate you guys.
See ya.
See you,
All
bud.
right, Joe, you got any final words you want to say here before I let you go?
Can we just skip past January, get into February,
Yeah, I wish.
get past the Super Bowl, we'll be into the heat of Bearcats basketball season, so we'll know if they're an
Spring
actual
training.
contender or not.
Yeah.
Pitchers and catchers report on Valentine's Day. I love Bengals. I love football. Baseball's my game.
Yep.
Let's get to pitchers and catchers. Let's get to Valentine's Day, and the best sound is like every sport, like every like Channel 19, Channel 5, like ESPN, everybody. They just have no one talking. They just have the audio on and just the snap of the catcher's mitt, the pop of the catcher's mitt, just catching a bullpen session from pitchers, and it's the best noise. It's the best sound ever. I can just sit there and listen for an hour.
Exactly. Well, hopefully we will have some fun stuff to talk about this summer with the Reds. That would be nice. Joe, you do have a show that you are going to start doing here sometime. You want to plug that a little bit, or are you still keeping that in the box?
It's still in the box, but I'm just going to be doing a show a couple times a week. Name to be decided, but I think it's a cool concept. It's going to be meshing sports and pop culture. I mean, you can talk about, especially when it gets to this time of the year and there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, Bearcats only play 2 games a week. You know, talk about movies, talk about music, talk about TV shows. So something else. So I'm not, just going over the same stuff you listen to Ice Talk, 3 days a week.
Landman's a good show to watch. If you haven't watched that yet.
I haven't, but I've heard it's pretty good.
Paramount, yeah, it's pretty good. That's the show I've gotten into.
We're behind on some shows. I'm waiting for Severance to come back. That comes back next week on Apple TV. That's amazing.
What's it called?
Severance.
I never heard of that one. What? I have to check that one out. It's on Apple.
It's hard to really explain. It's a workplace.
Holy shit! We got a legend. We got a legend in the chat. Andrew Fox Miller. What's up? Yes, I do like Landman. It's very good. What's up, Andrew? Sorry.
Yeah, he agrees. Severance is elite. It's awesome show. Adam Scott from Parks and Rec and a bunch of other things.
I'll check that out. I don't know.
And John Turturro. Nobody else with Jesus. So it awesome, fantastic show. Cannot wait. I've been waiting years for season 2 to come back.
Awesome. So hopefully next Tuesday we'll be back at Moreline. Stay tuned to the show for the details. But we will be at.
I'm missing my free drinks.
And yeah, I'll miss just doing it. I have fun there. We haven't been there in 3 weeks. So we weren't doing Christmas and we weren't doing New Year's, and then freaking snow hit, and they just opened up today. So they're like, let's hope we start back next week. So Joe, appreciate you, man. As always, I'll see you Friday at Millions, brother.
Peace, man.
Who day. All right, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Like I said, Andrew, thanks for joining the show, man. I really appreciate it. I do. That means a lot to me. Hopefully, when we get back on the show Tuesday at Moreline House, hopefully Andrew's boy, and maybe Andrew, if he wants to join, can join us live there Tuesday. It should be this Tuesday from 6 to 8. I'll get different specials. We're going to get a new graphic, but I want to put that up there. That we will be doing that again. It just hasn't. We're working on all the details and the happy hour and all that cool stuff. But it will be happening. But we will be live at Millions this Friday, Mount Lookout Square, right across from MOT's. It's a very interesting show. We have been known to give a live microphone to drunk people and see what they say. And then sometimes we have to try to rip the microphone out of their hands. So it's a fun show. So come on out to Millions and join us there. Hopefully we'll be talking about Bearcat win and how they're hopefully turning this thing around. But shout out to Millions, Moreline Logger House, and shout out to Priority Lawn and Landscaping. These boys have been working their booties off the past 48 hours. They've been out snow plowing like crazy. So they've been taking care of me, and they can take care of you with snow plowing, landscaping, and lawn. Give them a call at 513-430-6114. Again, that's Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to Midwest Best Barbecue and Creamery. Tell Tim and Nicole Ice sent you. They're right out there at Ward's Corner Avenue exit. Get you some Dillonay wings, some CTB wings. Like I said, throw a dart at the menu. Everything there is delicious. And I have thoroughly enjoyed my windows this winter because it's been cold out there and I've been nice and warm in here. That's because I got Meyer Windows and Doors. So you can check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Get you some new windows, some doors. And you can also check out the Jackpot Joey Mobile He might make an appearance. And shout out to my Westside Pete's Hail Marys, your ticket to the game. They are open back up, I think, today. They're right in the heart of Cheviot. Big ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks. It's an awesome, awesome place. Again, it's Hail Marys, your ticket to the game. Again, I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe. I got 115 people watching this right now. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Hit the like, subscribe, share, all that cool stuff. I will see you live tomorrow at 5:30. Again, I'll be in the ice cave because we're not doing Bengals now anymore because the season's over. So it'll be at 5:30 again. Other than that, throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Weekend nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ices on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.